Excel has a great deal of computational capability when it comes to working with dates, also a number of built-in functions that allow you to work with dates efficiently. If you're typing a date entry in Excel, use slash or dash as the separator. Now, in the United States, typically we display month, day, year, and that's the way we type it. In other countries, it could be day, month, year. To type an entry like this, and I'll just type another one here in cell B5, a different date, November 11/17/, and if it's 2016, I'll type a 16, enter. I can also type a dash, same effect, January 3rd, 2016. Type it this way, press enter. Anytime you type entries using slashes or dashes, Excel evaluates that entry with the possibility that it could be a date, and if it is, it displays it this way. And by the way, if you try an impossible date, how about 11/31? There are not 31 days in November. 15, enter. Excel displays this on the left side. Now, it doesn't scream out at you and say error, but it certainly looks different than other date entries. Now, long story short, date entries actually are numbers, and they're lined up on the right side automatically. And when they're not, like this, it raises a flag, and you have to figure out sometimes why it didn't work. Same thing is going to be true of leap year. 2/29/16 is just fine, but 2/29/15 isn't. No such day. So we see that. That's handy. If you do put in dates using a slash or a dash, they always get displayed with slashes. But more important is the idea that you've entered something here that can be used later. There's an Excel function that'll tell you which day of the week this is. If you're comparing this with another date, Excel, by way of a formula, can tell you how much time has elapsed between this. Or you could write another formula that adds 100 days to this to find out when the 100-day period after this ends, or subtract 100 days from it. You can subtract dates, you can add numbers to dates, you can subtract numbers from dates. If you're entering times, use a colon. 1643 might not be the way you display times, so you might type it this way, 4:43 p.m. You can type p.m., but the letter P is good enough. And unbeknownst to you, at this point, this is being stored as a value. So even here, comparing this with another time, you can actually subtract the entries. So you can make times be displayed with AM or PM, or simply in 24-hour style. And there's a lot more detail behind the scenes here too, when you go to formulas here, and mostly for dates, but also date and time collectively, various functions here that allow you to manipulate data. So it's something to keep an eye on. For the time being, just remember, enter dates with slash or dash, and there's one oddity you might encounter. You should be alert to it, be aware of it. I'm putting in a date here. I work for a company that keeps track not only of current employees, but also retirees. So one of our retirees, born in 1930, is now quite old. Enter. That's the way we would read that. There's another employee here, born about a year earlier in 1929. Type it this way, press enter. That doesn't look like 1929, does it? For the time being, and Microsoft will change this in a few years, all years from 30 through 99 are automatically considered last century. Now, if you type a 4-digit year, you automatically determine which year it is exactly. So instead of getting 2029 here, we should have typed 11/4/1929. So all years from 0 through 29 are automatically this century. In the past, Microsoft has changed the split point, but just be alert to that. For most users, this is not an issue, but occasionally it raises its head, and of course, you catch that one almost immediately. Type all dates with slash or dash, and then you've got the possibility eventually of using these in a numerical and computational way. Type time entries with a colon, and there too, the possibility of using these computationally is open.